Hello and welcome back to an episode of Heartbeat of America. And today's episode is called Rebirth. Uh, First off, I want to introduce myself. My name is Michael D. Rivera, aka Dynamic, aka Don. I work in the medical field, medical assistant, and I have studies in neurology. That's my main scope of things. The nature of this show is pretty much just getting down to the roots and basic element of America and what it should be and what it has become and where the state of America is today. And that's how it's going to be from this episode to future episodes and things like that. We go over the main problems, over the main concept of development, covering every base that we possibly can to make America actually great. The fact that we have to make it great again means that we're not great like we used to be. Like I said, this episode is called Rebirth. We're going to go over a few main concepts. So yeah.
What is America?
America's initial vision is unity, togetherness, and diversity. That was the initial vision that we were set upon to make the world a better place. The vision is still alive, but throughout time and generations, false teachings have led us to division, war, and segregation, separation, however you want to put it. The main focus was to have a country and a world build and unite and become as one. Over time, hatred, difference in cultures have kind of put a limit and stop to that type of vision, because a lot of people are very diverse. Most people get stuck in their ways and their teachings, and that's not their fault. That's just what they're brought up to see and visualize as a young human being. But yeah, that vision's still alive. The only way that we could get back on course with that, I would say, is that instead of talking, we listen. Because it's easier to talk and discuss what you believe in, but in an overall culture of the world, not everything's the same. One belief that you may have is yours, but someone else's belief may contradict what you believe in. And I think to get back on course, that main vision is becoming culturally diverse and listening and evolving and finding how to break down those barricades that separate us as individuals.
Can you tell us the difference between mainstream America versus America?
The difference between mainstream America and America is very slim in vital information that most people don't understand and do not receive. Mainstream America is definitely business allocated and driven. It's more of what you want to hear instead of actually going and structurally completing that type of course. Anybody's gonna fucking go with you and do what you want and believe what you say, but if those actions aren't taking course, then it's false hope and propaganda at that point. Propaganda could be good, but in my living, I've only witnessed it as false advertisement, which is kind of sad because I've had to unlearn a lot of things and relearn some concepts that were just misled So the biggest difference between that is uh, do your research. When you do your research, take at least 5 different sources. And when you do your research from those 5 different sources, combine all that knowledge into one main similarity and opposite uh, information, which is good and bad, and go with that correct line of uh, intuition, per se, and knowledge. Because even with that knowledge, it could always be built on. Things change, uh, things evolve. So always just keep pushing forward, gaining knowledge, finding better ways to handle situations, not with just in yourself, but also within the structure of humanity and work. Um, the biggest difference, I would say, though, is that uh, America is just not what you see as a president or anything like that, or anybody that runs the White House. Those are just spokespeople. Those are front people that delegate uh, for people and thoughts and visions of the world. Um, they aren't bad people by any means. Um, it just sometimes I feel like, me personally, I feel like they just go off of things to say and do for money reasons, because everything's built off money and driven off money, which is sad. Because from my cultural ways and past times of pioneers before me, we lived off land. So now that things have evolved and changed into a concept of money and stuff like that, bargaining and stuff has gone out the window. I mean, I wasn't necessarily alive during those times, but that's what my ancestry's done, and it worked, and it wasn't as divided. Yeah, there was hatred and stuff, because there's always going to be hatred. Hatred evolves from envy, jealousy, and competition, which, I don't know, I've never really competed against anybody. I've always just been in competition with myself. So people be a competition with me and I not know it, which is fine with me. That you guys are wasting your own time and energy on that. But yeah. And another thing between mainstream America and America is that it affects the mental state in a very, very diminishing way, because it gives people insight and say, per se, on situations in our own world of Earth. But do you really have a say? Many would argue that you do have a say when it comes to politics and stuff like that. But in the overall scope and outline and conclusion of all that, you really don't. They make you believe that you have a say by giving you an option between something and something else. But at the end of the day, that bottom line is probably already drawn. And actually, I shouldn't say probably, it actually is already drawn. So it affects the mental state because it feels like you are contributing something and doing something great, but in reality, you're really not. You're just contributing to a false vote, a false vote and false narrative that you are contributing to the ways of America, which is sad, because America is actually supposed to be built off the people, not the actual government. The government is just public servants to the people. The only way I feel like we could overcome that type of damage is that we stand up. You got to stand up. And the fact that most people don't stand up and just go with the flow of things ends up becoming a normalization of things, which ends up becoming and training your mind that you're not in control, even though you feel like you're in control. They make you feel like you have made some type of contribution to the control of ways. But to be honest with you, the stars and stripes are not what they used to be. Um, and I feel like we as a country have really become soft and negligent about what we stand for, not just for ourselves, but other countries as well. Um, Me, myself, I've learned and studied 5 different languages. I'm not fluent. I can't like speak it perfectly. I could understand better than I could speak. But I feel like a lot of Americans uh, point fingers, and me as American, that makes me sad because, like I said earlier, the initial vision of America was supposed to be unity and diverse cultures coming together, making the world a better place, which I really feel like we've gotten off track over the course of decades and centuries. I mean, I'm sure this started developing before I was alive because, let's face it, the vision of America was a long time ago founded, way before even my parents or grandparents were alive. But that was the initial vision. But yeah,
Illuminati. Is it real?
yes, Illuminati is real. That also became kind of a subcategory and subvision of American vision. What a lot of people don't realize is Illuminati is America. Um, Illuminati's main vision was for that type of community and culture to be diverse and unified and, like I said, make the world a better place. But throughout teachings and hatred and stuff, we've been given a bad rep and misguidance, and over the time people believe that. I mean, people are going to believe what you teach them, which is really sad. And all those teachings usually come at a young age, so by the time you're knowledgeable and you understand, your brain's already conditioned to believe one side versus the other, which is kind of crazy. And the only way I could really put that is I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Zohan, but when those people dress up as other individuals to destroy one side to make the other side believe that the other side destroyed that side. That's the only way I could really put that in a metaphor situation, is that people that are envious and hatred and not for that type of side, or to be honest, we're not even a side, we're just America. And but people will tell people things, and people will believe that because they have trust in an individual. And that's the thing, when you go and you learn things and you take in knowledge, make sure it's coming from a good place, not from a fucking hatred or an envy state, because that's not how knowledge should be passed on. But like I said, throughout course of time, my company and companies, I should say, Illuminati, Kill Illuminati, and Dine Entertainment, have been given a background of demonizing, which is kind of crazy to me because we don't even believe in religions. All we believe in is humans helping other humans create a better future for future tomorrow and future generations. That has nothing to do with religions. Religions, though, it's a beautiful picture to imagine and understand, of a higher power giving and helping and leading people. It's a beautiful picture and story across all religions. But when you really break down every other religion, they all have a main scope and main frame and main ending. It's pretty much all the same thing, but told in a different way, because most religions come from different cultures. so it's told in a different setting, in a different story, in a different route. But in the end, it's all mainly the same kind of structure. In conclusion, I just want to thank our sponsors, Dine Entertainment, and I also want to throw in here about my album and my Patreon. The Devil of I is live on my Patreon now. This is the only way you could find it. Become a member on my Patreon and sign up. I have 3 different tiers on there, and yeah, these episodes will come out once a week, so stay tuned for that. I'll probably be dropping all these episodes on a Sunday, so yeah, stay tuned. Welcome to Heartbeat of America, and please like, subscribe to my Patreon, and keep evolving and stay awesome. My name is Michael Richard D. Herrera, aka Dynamic, aka Dine. See y'all next time.